I'm the Hoppy Ferret, and I'm here to review a beer I bought in a glass that I definitely didn't. And the beer we've got today is Notting Hell's Gate by Portobello Brewery. And I assume the name of this is a pun on Notting Hill Gate, another area of London, another tube station. It's in this sort of orangey red, brick red kind of light brick red can design, so I don't know if that's a nod to the central line. I think Notting Hill Gate is on the central line. I think it might also be on the circle, I'm not 100% sure. I think it's definitely on the central. It's a 4% lager. Helles is a style of lager known for its sort of crisp flavour. It really is quite a summery drink. And it says on the back of the can, Notting Hell's Gate is a crisp, clean and sessionable lager, no Oxford comma there, designed with everyday drinking in mind. Brewed to German purity laws, not the one that you're thinking of, with premium noble hop varieties, Sibylla and Lubleski, bringing floral notes and restrained bitterness. The German purity law that it is on about is known as the Reinheitsgebot, and it was in its most famous iteration. It was enacted in, I think, 1516. It was the early 1500s for sure in Germany, in case the German purity law reference and the name Reinheitsgebot is not a clear and obvious German word. And what it means is a beer can only be brewed with 4 ingredients. Well, 3 ingredients: water, barley and hops. That was the original form. Of course, 1500s was before yeast was discovered by Louis Pasteur. I think if I've got these dates correct, then I'm very happy. Mr. Allen, if you're watching this, your history lessons clearly paid off. Oops. It's a law that said in Germany and Bavaria at the time you were only able to brew beer with using 3 ingredients: water, hops, and malted barley. Then they discovered yeast, and so they decided to, well, you know, yeast is pretty important for beer production. You don't have, well, you just got sweet bread juice if it's not for the yeast. You got no alcohol. So then they discovered yeast, and so they added yeast. So it's actually 4, but the original law is actually only 3. It only applied within Bavaria, but it allowed the courts, if you did brew a beer without those, at the time, 3 ingredients, the courts were then allowed to take your barrels. But turning to this beer, I keep spilling the fucking thing. It uses 2 hops that I've never had before: Sibylla and Lubleski. Now, if I've heard of them, Sibylla is a Polish hop, I think normally used for more for the aroma, which I do get. It kind of presents a little bit like fennel. I'm getting a lot of that actually in this beer. Some wood. What else? Just tiniest hint of tobacco, which actually is really pleasant. And then I think the Lubleski, which is actually a Czech hop, sounds more Polish than Sibylla, but it's a Czech hop. I'm not actually sure what it imparts to the beer, but I would imagine it's more of a bittering addition. It's probably not going to present as much in this. The can did say that it was going to give a restrained bitterness, but I've been talking for a while. This smells really crisp, really herbally, earthy, woody, oaky. No, again, I'm just very excited. I'm splashing all over the place. Let's jump in before I spill any more. Cheers. Wow. Wow. Wowsers trousers. Wowsers trousers. Yeah. Fuck, I could drink this all day long. It's really crisp. It is so crisp. It's such a lovely lager. You get some of that fennel that I mentioned. No bitterness that punches you in the mouth, but it's enough to let you know that you're drinking a beer. Lovely carbonation. I didn't actually show the beer after it was poured. I mean, you can. That is yellow. It's straw coloured. Nice. One finger whitehead. And honestly, I feel like I've spent more time chatting shit than actually talking about the beer, but in the nicest way, there isn't much to say about it, and that's kind of what I want in a lager, in a Helles. It's not something that's gonna throw you around the room and punch you this way and that with, you know, like an imperial stout or imperial IPA or even a regular IPA with its huge amount of bitterness. It's a great beer, it drinks well, it tastes fucking lovely, it's crisp, but there's some character, personality to it, and not just that, it's kind of unique in that it uses these two hops while you still have that classic Helles characteristic of, as I keep mentioning, crisp and sort of woody and earthy. With these hops you just get a nice unique touch to that herbalness. Normally the herbal, a little bit mint. Smallest amount of mint. And that's what I mean about this herbalness. One of the great things about noble hops, and these are hops that come from sort of central to northern Europe, they do, and the UK, well, northern Europe, it does give a nice herbal character to the beer that as far as I can think off the top of my head, you don't get in any other beer style. Maybe a bitter, like an English bitter, but that's from the East Cape Goldings, and I think that's sort of more of a specific case. This beer, it is really nice. As I said, can't say too much about it, but that is probably, it is definitely more of a compliment than a criticism. I'm really enjoying this. Oh, it's a 9 out of 10. No, fuck it, it's a 10 out of 10. It's a tippity top brew. I'm so impressed with this, I love it, I love the unique hops. I can't really think of any other, I've never had these hops before. I've heard of them, but never had them or used them myself. I keep drinking it. I'm gonna go enjoy this in private, have a little bit of alone time with it, and I'm sure it's gonna show me a great time. Cheers.